You're very in old times, basically. Because now, if you play now, you're just gonna like fucking face roll yourself. Like, what the fuck is happening?
Yeah, my dad is a really old school Magic player. He actually used to work with one of the guys who eventually went on to like found Wizards, I think, something like that, or like one of the like original guys who created Magic. So he had like a bunch of the really old cards. He's got like a lot of those old dual lands and stuff.
Oh, okay. Ew. So you're saying is I'm just gonna get wallet gapped when I play it? Here's turn 1. Here's turn 1, 6 mana. Good luck. Help. Help. You have the OG dual land soul? Ooh. What the fuck is... Can I just come rob you? The fuck? You still have this? Okay, you know what? Can I just book a flight down? Just go find it. I'm here to find your magic collection. Nothing else. She should be fixed now, yeah. Her W should be, back to normal.
Are you really surprised?
It's okay. Let me just summon Infinite Heralds for you real quick.
Oh yeah, that's... Wait, who had that bug?
Rumble.
Oh yeah. Is that still in the game? Did they fix that?
Oh, they fixed that shit like as soon as this one dropped.
Okay. As soon as the video came out.
Yep, they're like, oh, no. And then they also are banning people that are using the exploit. So like, can't get fucking... I'm not trying to get cheese like that in a ranked game. Why the fuck am I getting hit by 50 heralds?
The video was very funny though. I did enjoy the video.
The jungle camp.
I'm sure they'll appreciate that.
Alright, what's the countdown again? So? Wait, I don't know. Do I? I'm in a game, that's a problem. I got cute, eh? Yeah, just give me the draft link. You're not... Alright. I don't think I'm gonna finish in 6 minutes, but we'll see.
I can...
And this is my support that can't fucking do shit when I want him to. You know?
I can feel the love, yeah. Yeah. No, it makes sense. It makes sense.
It's okay, we
Wait,
have
so
a
who
good
am
day.
I- Who am I casting with? Is it you, Soul, or is it you, Lala?
It's so
Alright.
he should be here after draft.
So do you go by Lala? Is that what I should call you? Or?
Yeah, just go with that.
Cool.
Is it in my DMs? Or is it in Match Lounge? Okay.
Welcome to LXC.
Okay. Just keep me posted.
Hang on, I'm going to, I think,
Ranks rise up, League of Legends pride, amateurs unite in LXC lights. Crusader League we fight, champions by our side, emerald dreams ignite our night. LXC we play, emerald all the way, victory in sight, shining in the night. Battlefields we roam, towers fall and foam, nexus in our grasp, we stand strong. Summoners reach our stage, glory on the stage, push the lanes and feel the rage. LXC we play, emerald all the way, victory in sight, shining in the night. Battlefields we roam, towers fall and foam, nexus in our grasp, we stand strong.
Yeah. They're walking 4 bot, maybe. We're together.
Catch wave and then come.
what's up? Keep pinging it. Mirror and two.
Coming here.
I'm in passive.
Oh, big W.
That's big damage. Seraphine ult down. Yone. Galio. Kaisa. Just jump.
I got her.
I'm on the way. Seraphine's one.
Sejuani. Nice.
Nice.
Get power.
Bot turret.
What's happening?
Yeah,
It's just like every game.
They're
Oh, it's
rushing
because they-
5.
Right up towards top
They're on.
sign.
They're up.
Right up towards top sign.
Oh, we can fight.
I'm not there.
How did that miss?
Arm.
Just keep cutting back.
That's
Right back.
huge damage.
Already
Play
we
around
can.
the-
Already we can. Go
Here's our
silent.
stack.
Fiddle. Behind you, Gimton.
Oh, he was gonna die anyway.
Oh, Penta.
Penta. Wait.
Do I steal these?
Oh my god.
Oh,
Let's
go!
let's
Is
go.
way
I just think that, I mean, two of them are necro.
Alright, if we go MF, Skarner, Wukong, and they, like, ban Victor, what do we D1? Like, is it ever just Jinx?
I mean, we could theoretically do one Malphite.
Tilty Sports is backed off from both
we catch
objectives,
Jinx?
but
Can
you
we
have
catch
to get
Jinx?
something here. The Vi's coming in, has no ultimate. Jinx gets
Whoa!
shut down by Veigar. They're chasing now. This play
Wait.
started in top 7, now Naruto
DPN.
putting in as mini. Oh, that's
guy.
But there's the pick on Colt. He doesn't
He-
withdraw yet though, and Maokai has to be
Oh,
following him into Victor.
And look at the
that is
ultimate!
a real kill. Necro also in on the fight. He says any fight is good enough. One person has to withdraw. It's Emilio. Say 10 now will withdraw to the 10.
Every match, a brand new quest. Skills and teamwork put to test. Victory taste in our sight. In the LXC, we win the fight. Rise up now for the final round. Together we will wear the crown. Pixel dreams, we won't back down. In the LXC, we hold our ground. Feel the beat of destiny. In the LXC, we're wild and free. League of dreams, a legacy. We fight till dawn in harmony. Arm eyes up now for the final round. Together we will wear the crown. Pixel dreams, we won't back down. In the LXC we hold our...
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to week 3 of LXC Season 2. Tonight's action in the Crusader League will be a best-of-3 battle between Outlaws Prometheus and Elysium Chocolate Pancakes. Both teams are currently sitting at 1-1. Last week, the Outlaws did go down 1-2 at the hands of Bloom Gaming Lotus. Prometheus won the first game in that match quite convincingly, but unfortunately, we're not able to get much of anything going in games 2 and 3. The Choco Pancakes, on the other hand, picked up a clean 2-0 over the Goon Squad, with every single member having an exceptional performance. Will this be another dominant showing from Elysium, or will the Outlaws manage to get back on track? My name is Crewman44. Joining me on the caster desk to start this one off, we have the lovely La La Land, with plans to sub him out for Emrys a bit later on. La La, how are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. What about you, crew?
I am doing absolutely fantastic. We've got a new patch that we're playing on, 2025 patch number 3. So maybe we'll have time to touch on that a little bit, La. But as you can see, folks, we are already directly into our champion select phase for this first game. Prometheus on the blue side to start things off, and we've got the Pancakes on the red.
This is also the week that Mel is available for us in our league. So wait, Mel is available, right? Confirming? Yes. Okay, Mel is available. Yes. So
And not banned. So absolutely is very much available in this first one.
I'm hoping that we do get to see some Mel gameplay. You know, we're in the higher leagues, and I guess the first hover is Mel.
She sure is. Lock it in, Prometheus. Do it. You won't. I think they will.
I think they will too.
There it is. Mel first pick. Okay, so how do we, general consensus, I think, is pretty busted, right? Are you on that page, Lala?
Yep, 100%. Busted in mid lane and support. This is a very good flex pick.
Definitely. So a strong opening here for the game 1 draft for Prometheus. Let's see what the Pancakes have cooked up to answer. You have to imagine they probably saw this coming, right? If you leave Mel open, she's probably going to get locked in. Okay, Victor is going to come through as the response. I wonder if they're anticipating the Mel mid, and then Victor kind of being an answer to that. What do you think about, if that does end up being the case, how do we feel about that matchup, Lala?
I think it's just like they're just gonna play to scale, right? Victor wants to have the first augment or two in order just to play that. It's not they're just trying to play till 6, I believe. That's how I see the matchup. Nothing too crazy in the beginning, so mid to late game is the more scary part.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I don't really have too much of a read on Mel yet in terms of like what her greatest strengths are as a champion. Obviously, as previously discussed, just an all-around strong pick right now. But I still, I'll definitely be looking forward to see how Prometheus play this one out. The Maokai coming through also for the Pancakes, definitely a great pickup. We've seen Maokai have a lot of success recently at all levels of play, and a little bit surprising, honestly, that he didn't get touched at all on this new patch. But Sejuani is going to be the answer from Prometheus. So that's a little bit of an ode to the meta junglers of yesteryear, right? Coming through here. The Maokai and the Sejuani going to be facing off.
Yep, and Prometheus will be taking Nami as the third pick there to solidify the first three. I think that solidifies that this is going to be Mel mid, then Nami support. I don't think we're going to see Mel APC, which would be pretty funny to see, but
Definitely would be.
Okay.
Jenga, I'm taking a look at the OP.GGs right now. I actually don't see much match history on the Mel, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Maybe it's just not something we've been playing in solo queue or what, but a little bit surprising. I hopefully you're practiced on the pick, right? I hope it's not a situation where Prometheus were like expecting it to get banned and then it didn't get banned and then they're like, oh my god, we have to pick it, but we can't play it. That would be pretty awkward. So hopefully that's not the case.
I would think they're really confident though, right? Mel's firstly free. They're probably thinking execute, big damage, pick Mel.
Yeah. No, that all makes sense to me. That all definitely makes sense. We did see the Nautilus come through on the R3 there, so that feels, I think, pretty good into the Nami, right?
I think hard engage versus Enchanter is still really great. Nautilus has lockdown CC. You can barely escape him if he gets into you as an Nami. So Chocolate Pancakes coming with the nice pick. I like it a lot. Really good pick.
Looks like we have wrapped up our second ban phase here as well. We've got a couple of AD carries getting banned out by Prometheus, which is quite interesting, given the fact that they actually, we assume, still need to lock one in. So that's a bit interesting. And then we have the Ezreal and the Yone getting banned away by the Pancakes. Now they are for selection, expecting an AD carry lock-in for them. And there is the Sivir going to be paired alongside the Nautilus towards that bot side.
Not a bad pick. We do see a Smolder hover here for Prometheus. I was thinking of Twitch here for Prometheus.
Really?
Just as a funny, just as a pick that you can just blow up somebody, right? Because if you look at the side of Chocolate Pancakes, they don't really have a good coverage, I believe, with Twitch. But that's just me having hopes. I'm just throwing theories out.
Okay. Well, it doesn't really look like that's going to be the case. I'm sorry to disappoint you, Lala, but the Smolder now has been locked in. So just need a top laner now for the Outlaws, and it looks like the Crocodile is going to be what we are going to go for.
Yeah, very safe blind pick to 5, just in case Maokai is going to jungle, right? Maokai's still the flex there.
True.
Remington, super safe. And I would believe I would think this is going to be top laner, right? They're probably letting the Maokai go jungle, because Maokai versus Sejuani is the classic matchup. And it's pretty even, right? Tank versus tank, so nothing too explosive.
Definitely. Interesting to see. I actually recognize, a couple of these players on Elysium. Sofa and Duddy Brains are both playing over in Blue Otter Premier as well. But interestingly, Sofa is actually playing mid on that Elysium roster, and Duddy is the top laner. So they're mixing things up a little bit between the different leagues. Duddy, I believe, did play Maokai last week in their Blue Otter match. So but look at this. This is interesting. Looks like they are going to be flexing that Maokai, kind of like you predicted, Lala, actually, into that top lane. And the Xin Zhao is going to get locked in for Duddy in the jungle.
I think Zed's really good here. It gives them the AD damage they're missing too, right? For sure. Xin Zhao, big bruiser. Against this team, his ulti reflects if you're not in the certain amount of range. I think it's very good. Xin Zhao is actually a great pick versus Prometheus draft.
Yeah, I could see it working out okay. You should be a little bit stronger in those early skirmishes than the Sejuani, right? So, potentially some strong 2v2s there could be a possibility for Elysium. But they are, yeah, and they're definitely seems like both sides have gone for pretty straightforward front to back team fighting compositions here for this first game. Would you agree, Lala?
Yes, yes. Very front to back. I do believe though that the Elysium chocolate pancakes they're way heavier on the engage, right? So if you get caught on Prometheus with like Mel, or if they catch Mel, Smolder, or even Nami, or just one of the other people on Prometheus, I think chocolate pancakes are going to like very explode them up with Zinzao, Victor, and Silver.
Yeah, definitely could see that. For the side of Prometheus, all of the engage really does come down to the Sejuani, right? And I guess you've got the possibility of like a Renekton flank, but that's not really reliable engage, obviously. So definitely agree there. The Elysium should have a little bit more freedom to pick fights on their terms, theoretically, assuming they don't, fall super far behind or anything like that. So yeah, I mean, definitely pretty strong drafts for both sides. I feel like I would lean a little bit more towards what Elysium have put together. Not only because they have a little bit better engage, like you just mentioned, but also I feel like their carries are just a little bit more reliable. I feel like Victor and Sivir, Sivir maybe not the most range, could theoretically struggle into something like Smolder if the game goes late enough, right? But I feel like they just have really good follow-up for that engage we were just discussing, and taking into last week's action into account as well. I feel like the Elysium have the momentum and are ready to come out swinging in this first game.
I do agree with that. I think to pick drafts, right? I'm gonna go with Elysium chocolate pancakes. What about you, crew? Do you agree with me or do you disagree?
No, I'm with you. Like I just said, that's the direction that I'm leaning in as well, for sure. We could maybe zoom in a little bit on some of these individual lane matchups. The fact that we do have Nami and Smolder down towards the bottom lane. They have the double range advantage right over the Nautilus, but Smolder doesn't really do anything in the early game, so probably Elysium are going to be feeling okay down there. Just getting word that the Mel has been locked in as ADC, so it is going to be the AP carry Mel. You briefly called this out earlier, Lala. How do we feel about this?
I think it helps a little bit. It saves the Victor matchup, right? But it's very I don't know. Mel APC against Elysium's chocolate pancakes. I think it's very hard if they just do a lane swap and just decide to dive. It's very hard for this Mel to live early game.
You're expecting Choco Pancakes to go for a lane swap? Is that what you're
Yeah,
saying?
I think it's a lane swap, or either they just play normal roles and they just hard try to engage early to make sure that Mel doesn't starve, because when you play mage's bot, a lot of people like to starve a lot of people like to dive, right? In my mindset as a jungler, I would like to dive that as soon as possible so that the mage, or at least the APC, won't be able to get too much resources, and then on my AD carry will be able to carry from then on out. So that's my thought process.
No, I think it makes sense. I mean, the Xin Zhao, as we already discussed as well, is very happy to fight early and often. So I definitely could see that as a possible avenue that the Pancakes could go for. We are into the spectator delay now, guys. I think we're going to go ahead and go to a quick break. And when we come back, we'll be on to the Rift for our first game of the night. See you there.
30 seconds until minions spawn.
Alright, everybody, welcome on to Summoner's Rift for game number 1. We've got Prometheus on the blue side, the Pancakes on the red, and the Pancakes are going for a little bit of a level 1 5-man invade into the enemy red side quadrant. There is a Sejuani that they haven't spotted out, I don't think, just yet.
Yeah, it looks like neither team knows what the other team is doing, and so it looks like the Pancakes want to just sit in the bush, wait for someone to walk. This Nami will find them, but oh, they might find the Sejuani right here, Nautilus.
They are
Hook.
going to find the Sejuani. Oh,
Oh!
just a bit wide to the right there.
Yep,
So
tried to
close.
get him with the edge of that hitbox because he didn't want to go too far left to hit the wall. So a little unlucky, and Mike gets away with that one. No problem.
Absolutely. Of course, there is going to be at least that information for the side of Prometheus, or for the side of the Pancakes, rather. They know the Sejuani is starting on that bottom side. Sofa is going to find a crocodile in the bush, and is going to be pretty okay with that.
Yep, just a little bit, a little HP trade, nothing too big. See in the mid lane as well, we got the Victor trading against the Smolder. Kind of expect to see Smolder's not too strong of a champion early game. So he might get bullied in lane a little bit, but just wants to make it out, get as many stacks as he can.
Yeah, it's feeling like probably the mid and bot lanes for the Pancakes should have quite a bit of priority through these early minutes. Would be my expectation for this early game. So we'll have to see. You know, they do have, for the side of Prometheus, the lauded Renekton Sejuani combo.
Yes.
So it'll be interesting to see if they can make anything happen towards this top side. If they are able to, that would bode, I think, extremely well for the Outlaws, given all the scaling that they do have with this composition.
Yeah, it'll be really nice to see Sejuani's pathing to top. He wants to play this Renekton. He knows his teammate that he wants to play with, and Zinzao's doing a 3 camp and maybe looking top here.
Dirty Brains thinking about trying to preempt that play, but Renekton is very scary to gank early on. The level 3 Renekton, once he has all his skills, can be very, very threatening. So don't mind calling that play off, especially it was awkward timing for the Maokai as well. Salamander got the wave crashed, so there wasn't really too much of an angle there.
Yeah, and this is one of the things I don't like about when junglers will do Raptors red into Krugs, because if you decide you're not going to go for the gank, look how far behind, like, Mike is doing his 6th camp while Zinza's doing his 4th. So it's better if you need to start Raptors, then go Raptors, Krugs, and red, and then your sequencing is a lot better, because you have your 2, small camps that are going to be spawning before your red if that's what you really want. Or just start the red and then do your Krugs and Raptors. And if there's a top angle, then you can loop around. Ooh, Smolder almost dying there. No, you're good. It was worthy of an interrupt.
No, I absolutely agree with that point you were making, though. And now, as we can see, this is a little bit of an awkward position for the Maokai as well. Salamander did kind of end up just pushing that wave back in again, so the Maokai will be able to collect this underneath the turret, but it was looking a little bit dangerous for a second there. So if it was getting chunked out, and it was pushing away from... Yeah, there's another good trade for the Salamander.
Yeah, and this is looking really bad for Smolder. He's got a jungle support coming to him.
Ooh, yeah, here they
come.
Flap
away.
Gonna be able to get away, as you say.
And I really like the Sejuani's tempo, very good. Just full clear, there's nothing for you to gank. Your mid is scaling, your top is winning lane. You don't need to force top. You know your win con is this Mel Nami. Just does the full clear, gets the scuttle back, so now he's on the Krugs. Wants to get his level 6 as soon as he can, because then he can really start making plays on these immobile carries of the Pancakes.
Ooh, really like this from the Prometheus bot lane as well. They just saw the Nautilus making that roam towards the mid lane, so they take the opportunity to go aggressive. They chunk out Chaser, but now this could be a little bit dangerous. The Mela is going to get hooked in. There's the root from the auto attack as well. Dirty Brains moving forward with the audacious charge, but the root comes out, and the bubble as well locks down the Jin Zhao. Mel does have to flash, but Squigs will survive.
Yeah, it looked like Prometheus was, had a good trade angle onto the Sivir, but because of the delayed clear from the Xin Zhao, he's in the area when that happens. Usually you don't expect the jungler to be around there at 4 minutes 30, 4 minutes 45. And he was in the area when they went in for the trade, and then found him, Mal had to find a Nautilus and a Xin Zhao on her, and she has to end up flashing out.
So, limited amount of success with that first gank for Duddy. And, you know, we've talked a little bit about how the side of Prometheus are going to be very, very happy with this slower pace of game, right, with this composition. But for the side of the Pancakes, you know, they have some great scaling on their side as well. So how much pressure do you think they're really under to try to make something happen in this early game?
You know, I don't think they're under any pressure because Victor scales really well, and Sivir also scales really well. And I think you have a wave clear advantage, as we see a little engage in the top lane. But I think you have a wave clear advantage on the side of the Pancakes, and so you're not super scared of the game going late, because you also have a lot better pick potential. So even if the Smolder, the Mel, or the Nami are very, you know, annoying to deal with and scale really well, you can really pick them with the Maokai, with the Nautilus, with the Xin Zhao, and just kind of just remove someone off the map, and then your team fight's automatically better, right? Because it's a 4v5. On the other side, they do have a Sejuani and a Renekton, which also has really good pick potential. So I think both teams have they have different strengths, but I think they're both fine with the game going late because they have tools in their kits to deal with the enemy's strengths in the late game. So it just depends on who uses their strengths better.
Makes sense. We did see the early neutral trade come through there, as we often do, and now we've got a little bit of a top gank, as Elementor is going to go for the Dominus. Sofa, the flash away, gets back underneath the turret, and Mike is just going to hold on to that Glacial Prison. Don't want to dive the full HP Maokai. I feel like that's probably a good call to not go for that one. Get the flash, though.
Yeah, very nicely done. It's just a trade of Renekton ult for the Maokai flash, which you will take every day. And it looks like this actually might not be worth, because he's losing a red buff, and if you're a jungler, you know red buff is the, you know, greatest thing in the world. Like, you want red buff more than Baron. That it's like that important, you know. So Zenica gets a red buff here, but again, because of his poor sequencing, he's not level 6 here, and he's waiting in a bush looking for a play. But if Sejuani counter ganks this, it'll not look good for the Pancakes, I think.
I think you're absolutely right. A little bit of a tense situation there, but it looks like the Pancakes are going to call off the play. I was going to mention just a little while ago that we did see the neutral trade come through. So the Grubs for Prometheus, the first Dragon for the Pancakes. We did see a couple changes to a couple of Dragon Souls on this patch, and we had a very, very small buff to Chemtech Soul and quite a large nerf to the Cloud Soul. So that's something to keep in mind.
Yeah, so the Cloud Soul seem to be a little OP as Watercat wants to go for Jenka here. Looks like nothing's going to happen too much. But I actually think, I'm curious on your opinion on this as well, I think Renekton wants to go for an all, and there's actually 2 fights on 2 sides of the map.
Yeah. I'm taking a look at the bot lane fight right now. It looks like that's going to be disengaged. The Maokai did manage to wander away. Oh, there's the first blood in the mid lane. Every single lane was fighting there. Very tough to keep track of, but it is going to be Watercat on the Victor. Picks up the first blood.
Yeah, really nicely done him. Smolder couldn't even flash. Victor just hits him with the E and then the, you know, point and click Q auto, and Smolder was dead only. He was expecting that burst. Really well done from Watercat. Gets the first blood. Still has his ultimate, so he's not too down in fighting power if the Pancakes want to look for anything more. Later again on the Smolder, but Smolder still has his flash, so he shouldn't be in too much danger. Should he preserve his HP
as well? Actually holding on to the teleport though, just gonna be able to walk it out back into the mid lane there. A quick stack check on the Smolder. Let's see here, 54 stacks. I guess that seems okay for 9.5 minutes into the game. Not amazing, but fine, I think.
Yeah, he is a little bit down in CS. I would be more worried about the CS differential more than the stacks. If you look at the mid and the bot lane, both about 21 in favor of the Pancakes, although Renekton is also, you know, 20 CS up in the top lane. As Jenka trades a lot of his HP bar again, but here comes the stun.
Had a ward, should have seen the Sejuani coming, still going to get hit by the Glacial Prison. Is going to be able to flash away from Mom, though. So, flash down on the Victor. Will survive that play. And Sejuani ult is on cooldown now. Duddy Brains in the vicinity.
Yeah, and one important thing for Sejuani is that he only has one melee teammate, which I really dislike about the draft, because it feels really bad as Sejuani to only have one melee teammate, and that ultimate is all of his playmaking power against the ranged champions of the Pancakes. So, I mean, I know we have Grubs coming up here, and he can fight with Renekton, but it is a significant cooldown to be down right now, as the Grubs are spawning in 10 seconds.
Oh, Mike is going to face tech the Jin Zhao. Jin Zhao doesn't want the smoke right now, though. The jungle or support and top, rather, are quite far away at the moment. Mike is going to get that permafrost down. Duddy going back in with the audacious charge. Tidal wave comes out from the Nami in response. And there is the collapse from those other Pancake members. They take down the enemy support, but now the Renekton has arrived. Nautilus has to flash away from the ulted Renekton. That Bramble Smash brings Mike closer to Duddy, but the Jin Zhao is going to be able to get away, and Sejuani is not going to be so lucky. There's the feat of warfare. It is going to go over the Pancakes. Duddy goes back in, and they take down the Crocodile 4-0 on the scoreboard. Pancakes out to an early lead.
Wow, what a monster fight from Pancakes. It looks like the Xin Zhao is caught, right? He's level 7 to level 8 Sejuani. Sejuani base damages are so high. The Xin Zhao's looking caught, but the Nami's walking right behind the Sejuani, not knowing that the Nautilus and the Maokai were behind them the whole time. So Xin is like, call an ambulance, call an ambulance. But not for him, and they take out the Nami easy peasy. And then from there, the fight is just so hard for Prometheus to play, because the Smolder does not do any damage yet, right? It's just a level 8 Smolder with a Hearthbound Axe, and so they just ran out of gas. The Renekton comes in, they flash away from him, and eventually Prometheus chases in, looks for this Nautilus. I think this Nautilus might be dead.
Mike's gonna interrupt the recall. Here comes Mom. Haya has no way out of this one, so that kill is gonna go over to the Sejuani. A little bit unfortunate, but Duddy has no ult, so they are gonna get the Jin Zhao as well. And now Sofa potentially in trouble. Bramble Smash for the slow. The Maokai is also going to have to flash to get away from that one. So a little bit of a counter punch for Prometheus. They missed out on all the grubs, but at least they are on the board with a couple of kills.
Yeah, and that's actually very crucial. The mistake from Pancakes there was they let Xin Zhao and Nautilus just do the grubs alone. Victor and Maokai didn't help out too much, and it's like they can do it alone. It just takes so long, right? Which allows Prometheus to come back in and take a couple kills. And so unfortunate there for the Pancakes, and it's a good trade back here from Prometheus.
Definitely. We're going to have our next dragon is currently alive. Oh, Duddy is down there in that South River. Mike not too close to the plate right now. He's taking a look at the top lane. Salamander is going to go for the Dominus once again. Gets the Slice and Dice and the Empowered Stun off. But the Maokai seems to be just a little bit too tanky, and Sofa wants to go back in with the Nature's Grasp onto the ult and Renekton. Are we sure this is a good idea? Salamander trying to get in range for one more Q. Does get it off. And Maokai, you don't win that 1v1. Sofa, what are you doing, man?
That's a shutdown. Big shutdown over to Renekton. He's going to have a lot of power in this lane. He already has the Eclipse. He didn't even have the respect to go Black Cleaver first item. He just said, no, I'm going to stomp you in lane, and he's doing just that. Has 2 plates to his name, 20 CS up. This Renekton's going to be very, very rough to deal with in the side lane. But Maokai does have the Unending Despair up, which is a very, very strong item. So we'll see if he can mitigate this lead. But 2 levels in the mid lane do not look mid CS.
Oh, Janka is suffering at the hands of Watercat's Victor right now. Trying to get in range for one more Death Ray. The Smolder does manage to flap away. But yeah, Janka is just continuing to bleed in this 1v1. And yeah, I do like the Unending Despair pickup for Sofa, but the thing about this item, right, like, yes, it's a lot of value, but it doesn't actually give you that much in the way of resist. So picking it up first, you're not actually that tanky yet as the Maokai. So still gonna have to play respectfully towards this Crocodile, more respectfully than we've seen in that last play, at least.
Yeah, and if our production could really quick maybe hover over the item, I actually have no idea what this item does. I haven't. Okay, 400 health, 25 armor, 25 magic resist, 10 ability haste. Every 4 seconds while in combat with champions, deal 33 HP and adaptive magic damage to enemy champions and heal for 250 to damage. Oh, interesting.
Yeah, so really where you get the most value from that item is when you have more resist and you can stay in a fight for a long time, right? You get a lot of value out of the healing from the passive. But, without other items, without more resistances, you just die a little bit too quickly to really get your money's worth out of that passive.
Yeah, and I think he had decided to go for it, but I think probably just before the game even started, and was thinking, I'm Maokai, I'm playing against Renekton, I can just try my best not to interact with him and get through the late game as the mom has to come in because they're
Okay,
scared.
Water Cat, a little bit pinched right
Oh
up.
my gosh.
Beautiful sidestep, gets away from that Arctic Assault. The Glacial Prison is going to get committed as well, but Nautilus is here to back up the mid laner. Water Cat looks like it's going to be able to walk this one off. The Nautilus may have to be sacrificed, but Haya has the flash to get back underneath the turret. It's a 4-man commitment in the mid lane. There's the ultimate from Squigs, is going to be able to execute the Nautilus. So, a pretty massive commitment from the side of Prometheus. They do get 1 kill back. They buy some space for their Smolder.
Wow, that is, you know, the...
Oh, the Inami is in trouble now, though. Is going to get put on a plate. Some sashimi for Water Cat, number 3 for the Victor.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's just a product of the Victor, you know, vision rework. He's just so skinny. Dodges the
Chaos Farm.
22.
Oh, what happened to Mel's health bar, man? Hello? Right, okay. Water Cat is going to take a turret shot. Mike is here and is not really going to be able to do that much.
Yeah, and it seems like Watercat has watched Arcane. He knows Victor absolutely beats Mel, and he
True.
really gave it to him, forcing the flash out of Squigs.
Yeah, that was a lore-accurate fight that we just saw. You love to see it.
And it looks like Sejuani here is really interesting. I never do this when I play Sejuani. He's going for He's going for Heartsteel.
Oh, interesting. Yeah, obviously a very popular item on the jungle Skarner. I feel like, you know, some other tank junglers are starting to move towards this as a first purchase. I'm not really sure how I feel about it. But we'll see how, you know, how Mike does with the Heartsteel.
Yeah, my biggest issue with it is it's just so expensive. As a Rift Herald here goes over to the Pancakes, it's just so expensive, so it takes so long for you as a jungler to get it online, and you really need to be stacking that early.
Haya does hook a wall there. It's going to get stunned up by the Sejuani now. Tidal Wave is going to come out, is not going to connect onto anybody. A Dredgeline beautifully done by Haya there to Spidey hook himself to the wall, gets out of danger. And looking pretty good for the Pancakes. They pick up the objective, they get everybody out, and this mid-tier 1 is just hanging on by a thread. Glacial Prison has to be flashed by Watercat, still going to hit by the Arctic Assault. Gravity Field down, it's going to get the stun on Sejuani. We've got a teleport coming in from the Maokai. Mike in a whole bunch of trouble. Sejuani can get taken down. That's a rampage now for Watercat. Mom does come out. A little bit of return damage onto the Maokai. Renekton now here as well. Salamander slicing dice forward, trying to get on top of this Victor. Watercat going down low. Can they take down the Victor, rather? Yes, Renekton just barely able to get the job done. And now the Maokai is going to get executed as well by the Mel ultimate. So a 2-for-1 fight in the mid lane. Prometheus coming out ahead in that one.
Yeah, I mean, the Victor's, you know, playing really aggressive and fighting, and then, you know, here comes the Prometheus saying, we're gonna kill you, and he says, I have friends. And then, you know, they're winning the fight, and then Jake is like, I have better friends, and more friends showed up to help Jenka in the mid lane, and they end up getting the shutdown onto the Victor, which is crucial. He is still very ahead, very strong, almost about to finish up that Leandries, which is very ahead of the rest of the game.
Yeah, that was an extra 400 gold for the Renekton, though, so Salamander definitely going to be feeling pretty okay about that. They also have full control over this South River at the moment, so it looks like they are going to be able to get on the board for Dragons as well. Pancakes thinking about moving in here to contest, but they're probably going to be a little bit too late. The Dragon is going to get taken down. Is there going to be a fight afterwards? Duddy says yes. Goes in onto the Sejuani. Mike should just be able to get back over the wall here if he would like to. They're committing now onto the Nami, who does not have the ability to get away. So this is going to be 1 kill over to the Sivir, her first of the game. Dredgeline connecting now onto Mike. Duddy there for the follow-up. The audacious charge forward. Mike going down extremely low. Chaser kiting forward. Just a little bit more damage to take down the Sejuani. They can't quite find it. Now Duddy has to flash away. Haya gonna get taken down. The boomerang not enough to finish off the Smolder. Jin Zhao on a blinking health bar as well. The Mel ultimate, the Comet. So very close. The Jin Zhao will survive. Now Sofa, maybe with a little bit of an overstay in the bot lane, is going to be able to get away from this one. I think that was just, yeah, 1-for-1. I think both supports went down.
Yeah, a lot of fighting, very aggressive from both teams. This Nami is stepping up very high against champions like Maokai and Nautilus. Gets a little bit punished for it. But, you know, you still have really strong members in the Mel and in the Renekton, and this Mel is only going to get stronger. She went Seraph's Embrace first item, so she really doesn't do much damage. But once she gets, you know, 1 or 2 more items, she's going to start hurting a lot, and she's going to be very hard to kill because that Seraph shield is so broken.
Yeah, definitely a great pickup for the Mel. And Squigs having a pretty solid game so far. 3-0 on the Mel. Is still down pretty significantly in CS, but you know, if we take a look at the overall gold, yeah, actually pretty far behind in overall gold, almost 1,000 gold behind the Sivir right now. But you know, all things considered, a 0 in the death column is good. What was that production? Okay. Can you keep counting for me, please? I'm at 29. Okay, should be resynced now. Sorry about that, guys. Technical difficulties. We are back.
Yeah, and one thing I really wanna note here for the side of the Pancakes is that the Sivir's about to hit her IE spike, and this Victor's about to hit his Leandry spike. These are really big 2-item power spikes for the side of Pancakes. So when the next objective comes up in the Dragon, if they have their 2 items before Sejuani goes in, actually, is Haya gonna hook? Does he want it?
Haya's
Nope.
not going to hook.
Yeah, I mean, if they have their 2 items before Prometheus gets their 2 items on their carries, I think the fight will be very overwhelming in the favor of the Pancakes.
Yeah. Definitely closing in on those spikes. Good to call out. Sofa just now taking over to level 13. Was 2 levels behind the Renekton for a second there. And we got a bunch of members towards this top lane. 3-man from Prometheus, but looks like they're not going to be able to find too much. Also some members present for the Pancakes.
Yeah, and one thing I want to point out here is that when you have the Nautilus as your support versus the Nami, the Nautilus is going to roam around a lot. So Tasty here is level 13 to Squigs is level 11. Which, you know, even though the Mel is fed, it's just the classic ADC thing where you have to share XP, which feels really bad because there's a lot of stats you're missing in those 2 levels.
Definitely, you know, the base stats that you get from levels should never be discounted. You know, something you see all the time in solo queue is, you know, people taking fights when they're down levels that they really should. Oh dear. Okay, that
gosh.
wow, just got exploded. Poor Esmia. Never saw that one coming, I guess.
Yep, Nami was on my screen and then Nami was not on my screen anymore. So I'm not sure what happened there, but she disappeared. As Renekton just trying to take a 1v1 here.
Yeah, and the Maokai has friends, so it is no longer a 1v1. Salamander does go into the Dominus, but the Bramble Smash creates some distance for the Maokai, and the shutdown does go through. It's going to be Duddy Brains picking that one up, number 1 for the Jin Zhao. Now looking for a play on a Water Cat. Beautiful flash. Gets away from the Glacial Prison, and the victor will survive.
Yeah, English or Spanish, Salamander. So much CC on the side of the Pancakes. He could not move once the, you know, other side, or on Prometheus. Or yeah, on the side of the Pancakes, yeah, the Maokai, the Nautilus, it's just Xin Zhao. It's so hard to move against some of these champions. And yeah, the Renekton, who likes to kind of dash around and play the fight off his cooldowns, could not, you know, do anything. He's just getting bounced around and ended up getting taken down.
Yeah, just not enough information there, I guess, for Salamander. Didn't realize that there were other members of the Pancakes closing in. And that is a bunch of gold for the Jin Zhao, who was, you know, a little bit behind. But that influx certainly going to help, and is now at 2 items before the Sejuani. Just going to feel great for Duddy. Our next Dragon is spawning. Remember, the first 2 were claimed by the Pancakes, so this would be Ocean Soul points as soon as they can secure their first Ocean Dragon. Starting it up now.
Yeah, and we see, I think there should be Pancakes Dragon there. It doesn't look like Prometheus wants to contest. You see Sejuani on the top side along with the Nami. That means, you know, it's just being given. It's really hard to fight the Sivir and the Victor when they have the IE Essence Reaver Power Spike and as well as the Leandry's Blackfire Torch.
All right, we're looking for Watercat again. No flash this time, but no help for Mike. And Watercat's just going to kind of laugh at him and then take half his health bar.
Yeah, this Victor is very strong. He is very chilling in this game. You know, only 1 death. Does not have the flash.
Max range hook for Haya. Esmia tries to flash. That looks really awkward, but I guess it's going to work out because the side of the Pancakes will call off the play.
Yep, just taking the flash. I mean, that Renekton's going in against Sofa and nothing. But the Nami is very susceptible to dying now without the flash, so could be looking
yeah.
for a pick on her later. She's a
Definitely
top
the
laner
case.
smacking each other again.
As they often do. The only objective on the map right now is Mr. Atakakon. So we do see a lot of members up here towards this top side.
Uh-oh,
They are
Haya.
going to get a root down onto Hai, who does have to flash away. Mike over the wall gets the root down, but it's going to be Duddy running some interference for the sport, trying to keep him alive. But the Smolder moving forward, looking to take down that Nautilus. But on the other side of the fight, Squigs is going to get taken down. There's the first death of the game for Mel, but Watercat is also going to get eliminated by the Crocodile. Now it is the Sejuani and the Renekton back-to-back trying to fight this one out, but they just don't quite have enough in the tank. It's going to be an ace. The 5-for-1 team fight. Massive win for the Choco Pancakes.
How is Haya still alive? Question mark?
Good question, yeah.
The Nautilus lived for so long there, and also the Victor ult. After Victor died, how long did that Victor ult just stay there hitting the Renekton? Oh my gosh, wow. I mean, really good fight from the Pancakes. It was kind of a split fight. I mean, you had the Sivir on the backside with the Xin Zhao trying to hit the Mel, and then on the top side you had the Nautilus fending off you know, all the members he could. But yeah, the fight that kind of actually favors, you know, the side of the Pancakes. You know, when you look at Prometheus's comp, they want to just front to back, you know, very simply. But you have a Xin Zhao and a Nautilus and a Maokai on the side of the Pancakes, so you don't mind doing some dive action and then splitting up the fight.
Yeah.
And, you know, sacrificing water. I mean, he pressed R and like he was like fighting in the fight even like 10 seconds after his death. So
Yeah. And I think the target selection was great from the Pancakes there as well. The fact that they were able to find Squigs first. The Mel, I think, was definitely the strongest member of Prometheus in that fight. And just the fact that they were able to jump right on top of Squigs, take him down, I think really set them up for success there. So now Otacon buff on. And it's a beautiful transition for the Pancakes directly into the Baron Nashor. I really don't think that the Outlaws are going to have too much to say about this. They're thinking about trying to move in, but the Smolder is still very far from this fight. And I think this Baron is just going to be free.
yeah, and we are in the new patch where the Otacon buff has been nerfed. It is a 15-second cooldown when you withdraw, and it's 200 gold over to the enemy team. But the Baron buff is just taken, and it doesn't look like Prometheus wants to fight. Squigs is level 13 to Watercat 17. That feels really rough for Sivir.
Ah, yeah, no bueno for Dranka. A quick stack check-in. Where's the Smolder at for the stacks? Oh, okay. So
220.
extremely close to that
hitting the
last
Raptors.
breakpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah. Just seconds away is Drank from getting that execute online, but might not be enough at this point. They are staring down a very formidable Pancake squad that, as we previously mentioned, also has some pretty fantastic scaling. So, gonna be tough.
Yeah, I mean, the issue is that scaling is relative. So, I mean, you can have scaling champions, but relative to the enemy team, if your 2 items and Victor is about to hit this death cap, you don't scale because the game's going to end, you know, in 3 minutes. So
yeah, hard to scale after your Nexus explodes. That usually doesn't work out. Sejuani is just going to get engaged on with everything. Does survive, though. Renekton on the front line. Salamander with the Dominus is able to stay alive for quite a while, and now the health bar is starting to drop. That's going to be a withdraw for the Sivir. And the rest of the Pancakes are going to have to beat a hasty retreat. So they get the tier 2, but not much else.
Okay, I lied. The Smolder was hitting in that fight. Those 2 items hurt. I mean, I think he was like really keeping them in line there because
He's
like they were
smoldering.
getting an execute range. Yeah, 244 stacks. He just went up like 24 stacks since the last time we saw him. And there was just, you know, one little skirmish. So the Smolder, let's see what he ends up buying. I mean, the death cap comes through for Victor, and he also bought a Blightning Jewel. This Victor is very scary. He will one-shot the
He's
Nami, he will
huge.
one-shot the Mel, he will one-shot the Smolder.
At least the Smolder has a little bit of health with this build. You know, you got health on the Trinity Force, health on the Spear Shojin. So I don't know if he'd, you know, kill the Smolder in one rotation necessarily, but it'd probably be pretty close. And
Yeah.
The problem for Smolder, it's tough to get people to low enough to execute them when they have an Ocean Soul. So this is not looking great. Here comes the Nature's Grasp. Squigs in so much trouble. Oh, goodbye, Mel. Chase are going to pick up that kill, and oh dear, it seems like Prometheus just kind of fell apart there. They were feeling the pressure. The comms were clearly, guys, we've got to contest this Ocean Soul, but they were not together, and the Pancakes capitalized big time.
It was cool though. Mel reflected the Maokai ult, so there's that.
Sure did.
But you have to notice that the Squigs guy, he went Cosmic Drive second. It's it's a great item. It just doesn't do a whole lot of damage. So it's gonna take you to your third item to be online, and in this kind of game, you just need the damage fast. You need to go some kind of Hextech alternator item. Maybe if you can get the Shadow Flame, get the Shadow Flame. If it has to be Storm Surge, it has to be Storm Surge. But you need some kind of power now to get you into the late game, because this third item, it's a while away. It's very far away. I mean, it could be if he goes another defensive item in the Zonias, then this Mel, who had a really strong lead early, was 3-0, is not going to do too much.
Yeah, I completely agree, Emrys. That is a little bit difficult for the side of Prometheus to navigate. I'd say all the damage, all the burden of damage has to be on Smolder and Mel at this point in the game, right? So the fact that Squigs did go for a little bit more of a defensive build there with extra movement speed and the shielding as well from the Seraphs does mean that, I completely agree. They don't really have the damage to get through the health bars of the Pancakes at this point.
Yep, and we look at the side of Prometheus, they do still have a lot of standing gold. So Salamander gets that top tier 1 along with the bounty. Mid tier 1 is still up. All the tier 2s are still up. So there's still a lot of gold for them to claim. It's just about them claiming it. So it's really hard for them to cross map right now, but they do have a strong point in the Renekton. So whenever Pancakes looks for make a play on one side, whether they want to go for this top inhib or this bot inhib, if Renekton's on the other side, he can be taking some towers. He can be getting some more gold. And he could be the difference in this fight. If he gets on the Victor, Victor doesn't have his Zonias. If he gets on the Sivir and maybe Sivir burns flash from a previous try and they'll pick from the Sejuani, then there could be an angle for this Renekton to make a fight, but it is insanely difficult for this team to win this game.
Definitely is. 7,000 is the gold lead for the Pancakes. Got another Baron coming up in just under 90 seconds. Seems like that is probably what they're going to end up playing for. It's hard to end without Baron against the wave clear of the fully stacked up Smolder. So I think that's probably a good call to just wait for the Purple Worm to come back.
Yep. Just get Baron, group up and then siege together. And Sofa Cox is getting healed right now by Squigs. So that's very nice for him.
Yeah.
But I really like that you do a 4-1. You put, Maokai in the bot lane and you send all 4 top, and it's really hard for the enemy team to defend because you're going to be poking them and doing a lot of damage since you're so ahead. We'll see. I want to see this Victor E one of the squishy targets, how much damage it does.
Oh, that wasn't too much damage onto Squigs.
Well, yeah.
I guess the Mel got out of that second activation of the E, so.
Yeah, I don't think it actually, it didn't actually hit.
No, maybe you're right. Trying to siege onto this tier 3. They're getting a little bit of chip damage down, but nothing too serious. Minion wave is going to get cleared out. 20 seconds on the Baron now. Sofa getting engaged on a little bit in this mid lane. He's going to go forward. He's cut out the Smolder. The damage comes through from the Victor. The Chaos Storm as well on the side of the Pancakes. They pile in. The Smolder already been taken down. The Crocodile is going to get tossed up into the air, and then he's going to get turned into a handbag, and that's going to do it. No Baron needed. The Pancakes, 33 minutes in the game, looking to put the finishing touches on this one.
Yeah, and it looks like they're gonna have to wait a little bit for the Minion wave to come. Oh my gosh, the Water Cat just took so much damage from his own E, which is that's one way to counter the Victor. But yeah, they went on the Maokai, but this Maokai is so tanky. He just W's on the Smolder.
Oh, there it is. Beautiful flash W from Sofa. Gets on top of the last remaining carry. Still 15 seconds on the little dragon. And the Nexus is not going to last that long. The Chocolate Pancakes, they picked up the dominant 2-0 last week, and they are picking up right where they left off.
Yep, very, very skill expressive from Sofa. He presses the W button, and the enemies just die. It's very well done. Very good champion. And they played it very well. Very nicely done from the side of the Pancakes.
Absolutely. Nailed the point and click there, did the Maokai. Beautiful execution. And Watercat as well. It's made Victor's abilities also look point and click. I guess the Q is, but the other ones too. Very accurate.
Yeah. Nope, they did very well. That's one of the reasons I actually would prefer to have an engage support rather than the range ones, because sure, the range ones can do really well in lane, But just I mean the Nautilus was so much pressure, you know. It's the same way that Sejuani had the pressure. The Sejuani would Q in and ult, and someone has to flash, right? But then it's the same way with the Nautilus. Nautilus hooks in, and you know someone has to flash. But they also have the Xin Zhao who can also do the same thing. When Xin Zhao gets on someone without a flash, he's very sticky, gets the knock up, and he has very easy follow up in the Victor and the Sivir.
Yeah, yeah. I think, you know, both teams had similar compositions in the sense that both wanted a team fight, you know, in the mid and late stages, right? But definitely felt like the side of the Pancakes just had a couple more tools at their disposal to really make those fights happen on their terms. Last order of business before we go to break, Emrys, who's your POG for this first game on the side of the Pancakes? Definitely a front
I mean,
runner in my mind, but what are you thinking?
it's gotta be Watercat. I mean,
I
he
think so.
absolutely
I think
stomped the
so.
lane, and he just played so great the whole game. When you know when the Sejuani cues in on him, and he just you know does a little sidestep, dodges the gank. He was
Oh
so
yeah, that's
annoying
right.
because he's an immobile carry, but he just seems so hard to gank. Like I feel so bad for the Sejuani there. You know, poor Mike. You know, trying to gank this Watercat, and no, he was just swimming away.
That's right. That's right. Sejuani's ankles got a little bit broken there. Great movement from Watercat and a great game overall. Massively on top in those damage charts. 47,000 damage in a 33-minute game. That's that's pretty good. We'll see if Watercat's going to have a similar performance and pick up another 2-0 for the side of the Pancakes, or if the Outlaws are going to be able to rally back and make something happen in game number 2. We'll be right back with our next draft. All right, LXC fans, welcome back. We are about to get underway with our Game 2 Champion Select. Our teams, of course, are going to be swapping sides for this next game. So we are going to have the Choco Pancakes moving over to the blue side and Prometheus trying their hand at the red. Emrys, what kind of draft adaptations, besides the side swapping, do you think are going to be necessary for Prometheus to come out better in this second one?
You know, I think they might have to ban Victor. Because Choco
Yeah.
Pancakes is on blue side, so I mean they can pick it for free. And I also don't think I think you can maybe drop the Yumi ban for Pancakes. Yeah.
Ask me. Apparently, a Yumi one trick. We're just getting word, so that makes sense. You know, the Nami play was okay in the previous game, but Yeah. There's the Victor ban that you were hoping for.
Yep, very good ban. I like it just off the rip. Just I mean, the issue is though is it's kind of like an ego buff to Watercat. He's like, yeah, they gotta ban my Victor. I'm that guy.
Ooh.
So a little
Yeah.
mental advantage I feel for the Pancakes.
Yeah, I could definitely see that. I could definitely see that. Wukong ban's going to come through as well. Corki was the other ban for the Pancakes in the previous game. I don't really see any reason why they would have to change anything. For the side of Prometheus, they had Misfortune, Zoe, and Seraphine for the other ban. So they're going to have to drop either the Zoe or the Seraphine here and leave one of those two options open. Oh, the
Yeah.
Mel is actually going to get banned. Interesting.
Yeah, I think I'm okay to drop the Zoe ban. I think Zoe can be a good champion in the right hands. It's just very hard to pilot. So I think that you're okay to just ban. Seraphine is a very good ban. I do not like that champion. Whether it's AP or Enchanter, it's very strong. I do like it when it's on my team though. I do like a good Sarah Queen. So
Sure.
Corki first pick.
Yeah,
This champion I think is really strong by the way. I think it's really OP. Unless you pick like a very good like not Jinx, not a Jinx. Okay. That's fine.
We don't like the Jinx.
Jinx Lulu is a great combo though. It's a great combo.
It
I
is.
just I think you want something that bullies lane. You want like an Ashe, a Caitlyn, a Draven, a Varus, something that can just really force Corki to sit under tower, and then this champion doesn't look as strong. I mean, Jinx Lulu is great. It'll have great scaling, and it can do really strong in lane. But let's see what Pancakes want to play with their support. Because if they pick another aggressive support, the Corki will always outdamage Jinx in like the first 15 minutes of the game.
Absolutely. Corki does come online a little bit earlier, like you say, and there's the Nautilus again. Yeah, if it ain't broke, right?
Yeah, and I mean, this is just can open up Pancakes to just force on the bot side. Anytime their bot lane's not, standing behind the minions, Nautilus goes for a hook, Corki W's in, presses E, and they're pretty much just dead after that point. Corki can miss all of his spells and just press E and auto them to death. So, it is rough though because you are playing range in a melee matchup, but from the last game, we didn't see it really be abused in the bot lane.
We'll see if that's tune is going to change this time around. The Maokai is going to come through for the Pancakes as well. So running back a couple of picks now from the previous game. But Prometheus look like they want to take this one away. The Jinzhao being considered.
Yeah, and it's so interesting because Pancakes also picked Maokai in round one last time, and they don't just like throw a counter pick top. I guess they're worried about a flex, but I think after you saw it in the hands of the top lane, I think you're okay to just also match top lane and hold jungle. But I guess they have a lot of pride on the Xin Zhao, and they wanna take it away from the Pancakes and ban out, and protect it from getting banned because Pancakes could, if they want to ban it right now.
Yeah, I mean it definitely was a pretty good game from Duddy on the Jinzhao last game. So, I don't hate picking it away, and I feel like it pairs pretty well alongside what they already have, right? With the Jinx Lulu. Jinx, is definitely a team fighting AD carry, but does do pretty well in fights that are broken up a little bit more, which is something that Jinzhao obviously is great at doing with his ultimate.
Yeah, he's
So,
very good. Very good at peeling, very good at making space, and we do see the Zoe ban here in the second round along with the Hui, and also a Malphite ban from the side of Pancakes. And Mordekai's a very good ban. I think that champion is very strong in the tanks. It's very annoying to deal with. So I think that's a very good ban. Syndra is Barak after going to the Nether for a day or two because her W was not functioning properly. But now it is back to what it's supposed to be. And I like the Syndra paired with the Jinx because Syndra wants to just, EQ someone, stun them, and ult them, burst them, get a pick. And that's what Jinx likes. Jinx wants a pick really quick to get a reset and take over a fight.
Very true. Very true. I think we do need to see a bit of a bounce back performance from Jenka this game, right? As Watercat just absolutely just having his way with that mid lane matchup in the previous one. So Syndra hopefully is going to allow Jenka to come back strong here in game number 2. And it looks like the option for Watercat is going to be the Orianna. The Victor actually, the Victor was banned, right? So Orianna is going to be the pick for the Pancakes.
Yeah, and I'd love to see like a Jarvan with this because you're playing against Jinx, Lulu, Syndra, all immobile carries. I mean, Vi is fine too. And it's something's really good to pair with the Orianna to get the ball into the back line and then Ori can combo with them. I think I like this pick a lot. The only thing I don't like is that if Jinx or I mean, if Vi rather gets like kind of knocked out of her queue by the Syndra, it's just really annoying, and you're gonna have to kind of use that ult. And sometimes Vi can just go in and die, just kind of press R and then die. So we'll have to see how that works if Syndra can be patient with her E to kind of use it to counter engage the Vi.
Definitely, yeah. There's some potential there. Definitely some danger, especially against a champion like Syndra, right? Where if the Vi does miss position, can die in fact very very quickly if the unleashed power does come through. So that's definitely something to watch for. But I feel like the Pancakes, they have a draft that's quite similar to what they had in the previous game, right? They've got a great front line. They've got the Maokai in the top lane again, the Nautilus at support again. They've got great engage again with the Vi this time. And then they've got pretty strong scaling carries in the Corki and the Orianna. So pretty basic stuff, pretty straightforward, bread and butter team fighting composition here. Worked well for them last time. And then interestingly for Prometheus, the R5 pick here, Emrys, Fiora, going into the top lane against the Maokai. Your thoughts on that?
I really like it. We saw in the last game the Renekton beating up on the Maokai. Now he's got the Fiora. Someone who can, transition into the mid to late game a little bit better. Fiora's, a duelist, really great in the 1v1. So if he gets that 1v1 lead again, he can transition it into getting more towers and maybe provide more pressure for his team to kind of scale up a bit. I do like the kind of balance that Prometheus has this time relative to the last time. I think having the Smolder and the Mel and the Nami was a little too much. But I think Jinx Lulu, it's a bread and butter classic bot lane pairing, and they'll scale up very nicely. And Syndra also scaling with the stacks in a different way to Smolder, where she doesn't like need to hit an insane breakpoint and then she comes OP. She has different breakpoints where different spells will come OP. So I think it's a lot better, and their mid jungle is way better than before, right? You have Xin Zhao, Syndra hits the sun, Xin Zhao hits the W. It's it's much better than Smolder Sejuani, right? Where Sejuani's
sure.
like, where's my melee mid? Oh no, I Smolder. So I
Yeah.
like the draft a lot more from Prometheus here. I think they have a lot more options to contest Pancakes here.
Definitely agree with that point about the mid jungle pairing. Syndra Xin Zhao can definitely be very, very powerful in the 2v2. Should be stronger than Vi Orianna, at least in the early game, I would imagine. The Fiora as well, you're absolutely right. Salamander was very strong in the 1v1 in the previous game, so getting a little bit more of a stronger scaling carry option in the Fiora, I think definitely could open up some angles for Prometheus in this one. But the one thing that I'm really not liking about this draft, actually, Emrys, is the fact that they have very little front line for Jinx. Like, yes, you have Xin Zhao, and like he can do stuff. He can like knock some people away, and yeah, he's gonna knock somebody up, but he's not gonna realistically live that long. So Jinx, I have a hard time imagining a scenario where Jinx really gets the amount of time that she would like to hit in these mid-game team fights.
Yeah, absolutely. And this looks like a comp where they're trying to play to their player strengths. They know they have a strong top lane, so they give him the 1v1. And the way they have to play this game, because if you look at their first three picks, it seems like they're setting up for a classic front-to-back team fight, right? You have your Xin Zhao, you have your Enchanter with your ADC, and then usually we'd pick something like an Ornn or a Malphite or a Scion or a Cassante, someone who can kind of frontline and tank up while Jinx is getting her reset. But for this game, I think I want to see high prio on the grubs, number one, for Prometheus. And number two, I don't want to see them team fighting too much because it's not going to look too good when, Orianna and Vi go on your backline and press R, right? I mean, it's a point and click R for Vi, and Orianna literally just has to press R. Vi's going to put the ball where it needs to be. So I want to see them kind of try to split the map a little bit and pull Chocolate Pancakes apart because they do have a really good pick, especially with the Syndra, and especially, I mean, I think Lulu can be really OP with the shielding. The shield is like super massive, and I think the polymorph is one of the strongest spells in the game. It's very annoying to deal with. So, I mean, if a Vi, cues in and gets polymorphed, what do you think is going to happen to him? They're going to get absolutely cooked. So, I think Prometheus has definitely a harder comp to play, but I think if they play it well, they can do some big damage to Chocolate Pancakes here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yeah, the polymorph from the Lulu is especially potent against divers, right? Where they dive forward and want to get their CC off, and then suddenly you're a squirrel, and that can be a
A
little bit
harmless
difficult.
little
So
critter, even.
yeah, yeah. We'll have to see. Definitely going to be interesting. I wonder if the thought process for Prometheus was something along the lines of like, we had our team fighting composition in the previous game, but we just like didn't win the team fights. So maybe we can't win team fights against these guys. So let's just play for sides. But we're like comfortable on Jinx. We're just gonna pick that anyway alongside the Lulu. Not really sure. Maybe it was something like that. I'm obviously just speculating, but well, it is definitely there are angles here with this Outlaws draft, no doubt about it. We'll just have to see if they can execute.
Yeah, and you know, I don't mind if you're trying to play split push comp if you do have something like a Jinx Lulu because, you know, when you play a split push comp, what you want to do is, you know, get mid push and then move it into side. You know, push the mid lane, move into side, take control of the jungle, and then pressure towers. And Jinx is gonna have good pressure on the mid lane because she has the enchanter, because she has someone buffing her up. Even though Quirky Wave Clear can be pretty good, it is pretty annoying to deal with the range difference you see in the spot lane. So we'll see how they're able to use that to their advantage.
Oh, what are you thinking here, Emrys? After our draft discussion, do you think we're going to Game 3 tonight? What are your analytical instincts telling you?
I want to see Salamander put on a show for us. So
Mm.
I'm hoping for Prometheus to bring it out and to take us to game 3.
We'll see. We'll see. Salamander definitely had a very, very solid laning phase in the previous game. Now with the R5 Fiora, see what the Outlaws top laner is going to be able to make happen. Into the break, guys, and then on to the Rift for our second game of the night.
Mirrors on the wall, staring back at me. Stranger in the hall, frozen by the scene. Portraits seem to fade, he lost his centerpiece. Can't recall his face, I hope he'll rest in peace. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to say goodbye to who I am today. Haunted by my mind, victim or the prey. Everything is fine, take me to my grave. Bury me alive, keeping me astray. Hard to
Welcome to Summoner's Rift.
Okay, here we go, folks, for game number 2. And it looks like another level 1 angle going to come out here from the Pancakes. They do have the Nautilus at their disposal, but they've been spotted out this time. So Esmia is going to be able to beat a hasty retreat from the Tri-Brush, and a ward will be the only prize for the Pancakes.
Yeah, little unfortunate for them. They didn't walk through the bushes, so Jinx was walking through the bush and spotted them out. So there's going to be no threat of an invade here. So lucky for Prometheus, they dodge out on that. And kind of the same story as last time. Prometheus or Pancakes rather looks for the invade, doesn't find it. But here we have a little cheeky, invade of
Ooh.
their own. But I don't know
Oh
if this
dear,
is great.
I think they know. I think they
I
know.
think they have a
Okay.
strong, a really
The-
strong level 1 though. Bureau's very
Vi
strong
is
level
chunked
1.
down to about 50% already, but there's an extra man for the Pancakes.
Uh-oh.
And Mike going down solo. The Xin Zhao flash
Uh-oh.
away, tries to save live. The flash follow for Sofa takes down the enemy jungler. And now Salamander in the middle of all of these Pancake members. The Fiora does manage to dash away and doesn't quite get slowed by the Bramble Smash. So it's just going to be the 1 kill. But first blood over to the Pancakes once again.
Uh-oh. That's not good for Xin Zhao. But the benefit for him is that it just the kill went to top lane, and top lane can be an island no one cares. He's actually back on the map before because Vi has to back, so he's going to be ahead of Vi in the clear. So actually, if you think about it, it's a win for Prometheus. Despite losing the kill, because first blood doesn't matter anyway. It's just 300
Prometheus
gold.
fans rejoicing in the chat, I'm sure. Oh, Watercat down a level as the first level 2 comes through for Jenka in the mid lane. So Syndra winning out nicely on that trade.
Jenka is here for revenge. I'm hoping to see a volatile mid lane here. Jenka wants some payback.
Fiora is moving back into the enemy jungle here. Also has level 2. Is going to be able to push Vi Duddy off the blue buff. And Duddy doesn't have Q, so it has a tough time getting away from this Fiora. Just barely will escape Salamander's clutches. So this Vi, I mean, Duddy is ridiculously far behind at this point.
Yeah, I'm telling my team right now, guys, I'm off map for the next 4 minutes. Good luck. This is quite the rough start for the Vi. Has not cleared a single camp. And yeah, it's just so annoying when top laners do that. Why do they have to do that? Look, Xin Zhao's going to go take his blue. It's a rough start, but look at Haya.
Oh, yeah, that's a nice roam coming up from the Nautilus. Once again, we saw it last game as well. Oh, the flash to preempt Jenkins, and the dredge line follow-up is there as well. Beautifully set up by the Pancake support, and Watercat is there to knock it down.
Yeah, no, it's just so beautiful. I love the mechanics. Flash auto, and then Q. Don't try to flash Q, or don't throw your Q first, because they're going to flash it. He flashes autos, forces the flash from Jenka, presses Ignite, holds the Q, getting, really easy. Well done. And looking on a Sofa.
Okay, here comes Mike. The Maokai does not have Q. Oh, he did just get another Q. Wind does become lightning, but the Maokai does not get struck. Well, he did get struck by it, but he didn't fall down. Is going to remain standing. Tree survives.
Yeah, I mean, Maokai is just so annoying to gank, right? I mean, that Q is very, very strong. Just knocks you away and slows you. He has a heal from his passive. It's a tough gank, and it's, really annoying when you want to play to this top side, right? You want to play to Salamander. It seems that Salamander is their kind of strongest player and who can be their win con, right? You have their scaling bot lane who's not going to, do too much in the early game. They just want to, farm up, get as many minions as they can, get as much gold as they can. And so the only play you can really make right now is topside, because that's where your lead's going to be.
Yeah, but like you said, really difficult into the Maokai. So another pretty nice trade for Jenka in the mid lane, but Watercat coming back in that one off the back end. Here comes Esmia with her own roam into the mid lane here on the Lulu, but doesn't have quite the same impact as a Nautilus.
Yeah, and similarly, I mean, Vi's walking to the top side. Fiora is also another very annoying top laner to gank. It's so, slippery with the dash from the Q, and also the parry is also a very strong spell, especially like a Vi who kind of engages with the Q, and it's a very easy, parry to do. And he tried to hold the way for the freeze. I don't know if he's going to be able to. If he walks up right here and pulls the minions, he might be able to, and he can even force a trade on a Sofa. Has the graph stack ready.
He's
Nice
trying to look
parry.
tasty.
I like it.
Very nice. Yeah, in goes
No flash
Salamander
on
looking for
Sofa.
something here. Maokai gonna go back in with the Twisted Advance and the Bramble Smash to create the space. And that's gonna be it for that particular skirmish.
Yeah, and very disciplined from Salamander. He knows that Vi was just in the top side, so he doesn't want to, make any mistake by going in too deep. So he doesn't want to overcommit there. Very well done. He just ticked level 6, 20 CS up. Very, very, very strong on this Fiora. I think they can transition this into a grub state. Meanwhile, Vi's on the Raptors of Mike.
Yeah, very interesting. You were talking as well in the draft about how you feel like it is really important for this Prometheus composition to get those grubs. And Mike is on to him now. I think Duddy is probably going to spot him out in a second here.
Or just recall in the
or
bush.
Not. Yeah, I guess we're not going to spot him out. So all three grubs, it looks like, are going to go over to Mike, the Xinjiao, going to be able to pick those up. Nice shockwave in the mid lane. Jenka's chunked down to about 400. The Syndra actually doesn't have teleport either, so this is a bit of an awkward situation for Jenka in the mid lane right now.
Yeah, but it is what you would expect. You have the winning top side here for Prometheus, so they're going to get the grubs, and you have the strong bot side here for the chocolate pancakes as Jenka goes
the
in.
scatter
Maybe he
underneath the
wants it.
turret. Watercat only taking one turret shot there, and Syndra is still holding on to the unleashed power as well.
Yep, really, really good trade, and it makes him so that he might not be in too much of a threat, but they are both kind of low. And Watercat's, maybe a little more than 50 HP. Gets stunned by another
scatter.
stun. This is first strike gold going over to Jenka, by the way. Keep this in mind. Duddy
Dragon is
level
going to
4.
go over to the Pancakes, so the neutral trade comes through once again.
My Vi is level 4 at 7 minutes. Somebody help.
Is painful. 20 CS down in the jungle right now. That's, oof. There's level 6 for Mike.
Not even really his fault, too. I mean, the enemy team just
absolutely
teased
not,
him
yeah.
so hard. It's really frustrating as a Vi here, but, once you get that level 6, you're pretty much full build. Like, you don't even need items, right? You just have the R.
Well, I don't know about that.
I think the
we'll
Corki will
see.
do the rest. I trusted this Corki. He's gonna be crazy. He has
Okay.
69 CS.
Just
Okay.
gotta believe in Chaser. Vi is
believe.
believing in the Chaser that believes in her.
Yes.
That's the plan.
And important to note, we do have Vi versus Jinx for the Arcane matchup.
True.
I've seen the show. Jinx actually won that pretty well.
Yeah. Well, she definitely won the first season at least.
Yeah. I guess in the second season actually she did kind of lose, but then she won later, like in the tunnel when they were looking. You know what I'm talking about. But it's okay.
Yeah.
They had their back and forth.
Suffice
Mike's
to
in the mid
say-
lane.
Yeah, he is. And Watercat is walking away in the mid lane. Nice riposte from Salamander, going to come out once again. But Maokai's just chilling.
Yeah, Maokai's Maokaiing. And it doesn't
Nice
look
to
like
at least
he's gonna
see
be
those
in
Fiora
danger.
mechanics on display. Oh, a little bit of a turret shot coming through there.
Yeah, he looks very comfortable on this champion by the way he's playing it. So. And we see from the pings here, Xin wants to go invade the blue buff, but maybe there might be something in the mid lane happening right now.
Another
Both supports
nice
are here.
shockwave. That is going to be the flash out from Jenka. Gets away from the dredge line. Mike, they not making a move. Duddy goes in. The ultimate onto Syndra, who no longer has flash. Beautifully done by the Pancakes. They get themselves the feat of warfare. Now Mike in trouble as well. Flashes away to get back underneath the turret. And the Xinjiao will survive. But an excellent turnaround there on the play. Clearly the side of Prometheus just had no idea that Duddy was in the area. And Duddy makes him pay for it.
Yeah, that is really unfortunate. I mean, you kind of have this pressure in mid. You know your support's with you. And Xin wants to look for an invade, but... how long was Haya just sitting in that bush, waiting for his opportunity, waiting for the Syndra to get low enough to step up a little bit on the wrong side of the minions, and then ends up going down. Very nicely done by Duddy to react to the play as well. I'm sure his team is calling it. We're looking mid. And, he's very skill expressive. He pressed the R button on the enemy Syndra. Then Syndra died.
Yeah. Just nailed it. As we discussed previously, those point-and-click skill shots, very, very impressive. But you know what's crazy as well, actually, Everest, is I'm pretty sure that Duddy just got level 6 off the red buff, like seconds before making that play.
Wow.
The timing working out beautifully there for the side of the Pancakes. And now they're going to be in a decent spot to contest this next spawn of grubs that are coming up in just a few seconds. Jin Zhao not really in the area at the moment.
Yeah, and it's a bit rough because they swapped their bot in their top, and so Fiora has to lane against Corki, who is not very fun to lane against. And here comes Nautilus as well.
Oh, Salamander, there's the riposte. Fiora still losing a bunch of health, but at least doesn't get CC'd. Duddy gonna go in with the Vault Breaker. But there are reinforcements here for Mike. There is a lot of damage onto Duddy, but the Death Charge now committed onto Duddy. The Wild Growth does come out. Is that going to be enough to keep the Xin Zhao alive? I don't know if it's going to be the case. Super Mega Death Rocket, though, is going to take down Duddy. Both junglers get taken down. It's going to be Squigs, who's excited, trying to kite forward, trying to clean up this team fight. Takes down the Orianna as well. The excited Jinx doing all the heavy lifting. Squig kiting beautifully. Gets away, barely survives, picks up the triple kill. Massive win, and there's the scatter onto Chaser as well. Quadra kill for Squigs. And that's going to be Outlaws Prometheus back in the driver's seat.
Wow, very nicely done. That Xin Zhao lived so long with the Lulu ult, and crucially, his ult came back up when Duddy did not have his. And then they walk up, they group up, and Syndra gets a 4-man scatter of the week. Wow, that completely changed the fight because, I mean, they're all just standing there for 3 seconds, not hitting anything.
Absolutely, yeah. Really nicely done there. Well played team fight by the Outlaws. And they are going to be rewarded, it looks like, with all of these grubs. Duddy is back out onto the map, but doesn't have the teammates in the area. They can't contest this one. So that's going to be the double buff, the double Twitch chatter buff for the side of the Prometheus in this one. Oh, yeah. It's nerfed a little bit on this patch. So there's that.
Yep. And one interesting thing that I do want to note as well is that the dragon was delayed so much by the Pancakes. So this soul is going to be so late, which actually really favors the Jinx comp, right? Like Jinx wants to be able to make it to the late game as well as Syndra. So even though that Pancakes have this, soul win con, as it looks like Salamander's losing out on these trades from the Bramble Vest here. Hugh has no cooldown, it seems.
Oh,
but now he's in trouble.
Sofa getting a little bit over-aggressive once again. We saw this last game as well. Maokai wanted to smoke against Renekton, and this time against Fiora. And it's not going to work out this time either. So Maokai goes down. That's going to be the last hit for Salamander, which probably is going to feel pretty great for the Outlaws.
Yeah, I also want to just point out that the Xin Zhao was in Tribush ready to die, but he just ended up walking through the tower to kill him, which is a little bit funny. But well played by them to get the kill on the overextended top laner.
Absolutely. They are going to be able to secure that first turret as well. So it's all going to come down to the next neutral objective in terms of who is going to get the fancy shoes. Squigs, not going to get dove.
Yeah, not going to be any
trouble.
trouble.
In trouble. The flash forward for the Jinx. Beautiful angle there for Squigs. Just connected all the skill shots, and Watercat drops.
Yep, there goes Watercat, and it looks like Prometheus is going to siege onto the mid lane, which is a very bad sequence for the Pancakes. They lose their mid lane on the side lane. They just lost their mid tier 1, one of the most important towers in the game. And it looks like we'll see Jinx just push the wave and back away. He's probably got a decent buy. This Prometheus team is scaling up really nicely.
They definitely are. Feeling really good about the past few minutes of play. Fiora's got much more room to work with in the side lane now. And this Jinx is very, very fed.
Yeah, and contrary to the last game, it looks like the bot side of the map is your strong point rather than the top side. And so it's it's a nice change of pace to see, and I think Prometheus liked this. They like having the Jinx be strong, the one who can actually carry the team fights, and let just Fiora have the pressure in the bot lane or on the top lane wherever they are, and just push out the waves and not feed. But here comes
Shockwave onto Janka. Syndra potentially in trouble here. Does toss out the Unleashed Power in response. Gets Watercat down pretty low. The Orianna's flash is about to come back, but doesn't have it quite yet. Here comes Salamander, flashes forward, gets the slow from the riposte. Watercat just about to get the flat. I don't think it would have saved them anyway. Salamander picks up number 2, 8-4 now on the scoreboard.
Yeah, I really like that, but here we go.
Breaker forward, Esmia in trouble. Lulu flashes away, but the tree follows with a twisted advance. Lulu forced a wild growth herself there. Mike still on the front lines. Jinzhao getting burned down. The Vault Breaker back. Super Mega Death Rocket gets some good damage out. The Jinzhao flashes away, and the shield from the Lulu keeps Mike alive. Another Dredge Line does connect, but Jinx still. Oh, the Jinx actually does get taken down, but now it's Jenka here. The other carry arrives to clean up the team fight. It's going to be 3 for 1, it looks like, as Haya trying to flash away. Nautilus hook away to escape. The Maokai and the Vi were not so lucky. So another team fight win. Going to go the way of Prometheus.
Yeah, really, really well played from Prometheus. The Jinx steps up a little bit farther. He wants to get so many kills. He's so close to killing them off. But unfortunately, he could not finish them. And, you know, he gets hooked by the Nautilus, ends up getting blown up there with the Vial, but he lived up very long, which allowed for his team to end up trading back more kills. So, you know, very nicely done.
Definitely. And this is going to be the feats. As the Herald goes over, the feats of strength are going to go to the Outlaws this time around. Now, the only thing that they have left to worry about is this next dragon. That's the only thing that the side of the Pancakes really have left at this point in the game. We'll see if the side of Prometheus can put a stop to this soul stacking. I think they are not going to have too much else to worry about in terms of getting towards that game number 3.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this Jinx is about to get the IE power spike. It's very, very strong. Once Syndra gets 2 items, she doesn't even have to hit the spell. She just presses R, and, you know, the Vi is going to die, or the Corki is going to get very chunked. And I mean, the Orianna has Saros, which is very nice to live very long. So we'll see how these fights play out, but right now they've been just always in the favor of Prometheus.
Yeah, they've been winning out consistently for most of this game. And they've got a pretty good presence in the river. They got that nice control ward down in the banana brush. But still, clearly the side of the Pancakes know what's at stake here. They're moving into the river to contest. They desperately want to secure this next dragon. Nice scatter over the wall, though. Gets Watercat shrunk down to about 75%. Herald is going to be summoned up now in the mid lane by Mike for some extra pressure, and that's going to force the side of the Pancakes to respond and give up position in the river. In comes the Maokai TP. All 10 players gathered up. The hook connects. They blow up the Lulu right at the start of the fight. Into the backline goes Duddy as the cease is committed, and Squigs gets taken down. It's a double kill for the Corki. An absolute tragedy for the Outlaws. The Herald is getting some work done in the mid lane right now as the charge into the inhibitor turret comes through. Salamander threatening the inhibitor. And Jenka still here off on the flank, but Mike doesn't look like he's going to be able to get in a position to contest for the objective. So the side of the Pancakes, they will go up to Soul Point at the cost of their mid-tier 3.
Yeah, I think I actually am fine with that if I'm Pancakes. You lost the mid-tier 3, but you're playing towards your win con. And huge fight there. You get the kill onto the Jinx again. You get the Lulu. It's a lot of gold. You need this Corki to get few more items. And again, you have this Maokai, you have this Nautilus, you have this Vi. You have such pick potential. And if you can pick this Lulu off right at the start, I mean, Lulu has the wild growth still available, but she can't use it if she's full CC'd into Oblivion. And that's what really, you know, turns some of these team fights that we've seen in the past is the Lulu ult, you know, makes it so hard for them to kill whoever she gives it to.
Yeah, and again, it was really nice target selection, I think, there for the Pancakes. I mean, it was just a straight-up hook from Haya to start it off, but then the Vi ultimate committed onto Squigs. The Jinx not really able to do anything to try to salvage that fight, and that was a big-time play, definitely, for the Pancakes. 4 minutes' time, they're going to have an opportunity. They're going to have a crack at that Mountain Soul.
Yep, and you know, right now they're just... Pancakes just want to scale up. They don't have their 2-item spikes. They're not even too close on them. You look at the Orianna, you're looking at the Corki. Corki doesn't even have a mana immune yet. He doesn't even have the Mirror Mana. And so it's not feeling too good. But the fact that they just won a team fight on the items they have right now, first off, shows how OP Corki is. And secondly, will show that once they get those items, they're going to, you know, be really strong. And crucially, Jinx also does not have the IE just yet. That is a huge spike for the Jinx. She will take over a fight once she gets that IE.
Yeah, very, very close to it. Actually, I think Squigs does have it in base. So as soon as that Jinx gets a recall off, it is going to be on that 2-item spike. Salamander, meanwhile, destroying the tier 2 in the bot lane. This Fiora definitely doing some work. That's a lot of gold as well.
Yeah, I mean, once Fiora gets, these 2 items, she is just so strong, right? She has so much healing, the true damage from her vitals. It's really hard to deal with in the side lane, as just a Maokai. But it looks like we're seeing an Otacon start.
Herald startup. So Sofa was in the bot lane. They must have known that the Maokai doesn't have TP. So they're going for a fast play onto the Otacon, but the rest of the Pancakes are here to contest. Little bit dangerous, I think, as Haya looking for the angle. Watercat's kind of far forward as Salamander dives forward, trying to take down the enemy mid laner. A nice scatter over the top as well. The Otacon does go over. Salamander doing a great job there of running interference and doesn't even have to die for it, as the Otacon buff is going to allow the Fiora to respawn as Mike chasing forward with the buff. Watercat flashes away, barely stays alive for now, and the shockwave value is definitely pretty huge. Duddy diving back forward. Mike is going to be forced to withdraw, and now it's Squigs and Ismia trying to fight this one out. They do manage to take down the Nautilus. It is at least one more for the Jinx, as I guess the Vi did drop as well. But all of those Otacon buffs are going to get wiped off, and the Pancakes definitely still in it.
Yeah, it's an interesting play. The issue with, forcing Otacon with all 5 members up on the enemy team is you're just losing all your resistances. With the Otacon taking away your armor and MR, it's like you're giving the enemy team a free, LDR and a free Void Staff, right? So although the fight did look good, I mean, Salamander almost solo won the fight by killing Watercat there. Unfortunately, they end up turning on him, and he, it ends up not being able to finish him off. But had he able to just kill Watercat straight off rip out the fight there, it would have been so big for them, and then they could have just absolutely, wiped them. But I think it's a fine for the Pancakes. I mean, you got a lot of gold. They didn't get anything from the Otacon. They just did it and died.
I think the call to go for the Otacon was good, and I loved the call from Salamander as well to run interference and kind of distract the Pancakes, prevent them from pushing forward. Where I think the side of Prometheus went wrong there is I don't think you re-engage with 4 after Fiora is was pretty much dead already by the time the Xin Zhao goes in with the Audacious Charge, right? I feel like you just retreat with the 4 Otacon buffs, and then you play for the Dragon with the buff, right? The fact that they lost all of them now means that this fight coming up is much more dangerous.
Yeah, and but you do have to look at this. Oh, look at this Fiora.
Recall
2
interrupted
levels
there.
up,
That's
by the way.
potentially really big. And the
Another
Maokai's
fight.
TP advantage as well. The dredge line, the fight is breaking out in the bot side river. It's Duddy going in with the Vault Breaker. And that's going to be Squigs taken down right at the start of the fight. And just like that, the Pancakes will flatten the Outlaws. And they will secure the Mountain Soul.
Yeah, really well done by the Pancakes. They, had that pick potential, right? Jenka's going in, doing a lot of damage onto Haya, but, once the Nautilus presses R on the Syndra, she has to just run away, and then they can end up turning in on the Xin Zhao and kill him. So, really good fight, really well done, understanding their team's strengths and using it to their advantage.
Absolutely. Salamander at least will secure the mid inhibitor, but that is a small consolation prize at best. They're now going to have to play into these extra resists and the Mountain Soul Shield for the rest of the game.
Yep, it's looking like a difficult one. Really well played by Pancakes to claw their way back into this one.
Yeah, there still is the Fiora split push win condition though. Salamander is doing a great job of playing for these side lanes. At this point, I don't think you can realistically win the team fights anymore as Prometheus, but just maybe Salamander can make a miracle happen.
Yeah, that's one of the things is maybe you're gonna be losing every team fight now, but Fiora might just break the Nexus by herself. So they do have an option still to win this game. It's really, really well done by Pancakes to end up, they played for their win con, they knew what their win con was, just stack the dragons, use their winning bot lane, and even though this Jinx got ahead, they still, had the better objective setup and used that to get this Corki now 5-1, almost at 3 items. I think he's looking to get a shield bow here, to help, survive some of this burst on the side of Prometheus and deny that reset for Jinx, and so he can end up taking over the fight.
Wow, this is really interesting. We've got a 5-man commitment from the Outlaws right now towards the bottom side of the map. Very risky considering Baron is on the table. But it looks like it's only Fiora down in the actual bot lane for now, trying to pressure this bot lane inhibitor turret, but Stofa doing a good job of playing defense. As long as the Maokai doesn't go in to fight Fiora 1v1 again, I think we should be okay.
Yep, and we see Prometheus getting the vision control around the Baron. Oh, Jinx!
Dredge line onto Squigs. Why is the Jinx in front? Oh my goodness, the Wild Growth comes through, but it's not going to be enough to save Squigs. And Mike is going to get taken down here as well. Well, I mean, that's probably game.
Nope, you said it perfectly right there. I don't know. Yeah, what is Jinx stepping up there for? Maokai hooks him in and then you hook and cook. It's like, the old Roadhog combo from Overwatch, right? And that looks like it's a
That's right.
it's a Pancakes Baron here. The Red Bull Baron power play, and here you have Janka getting run down by Watercat.
Oh no. A solo kill as the cherry on top. Syndra, no flash. Syndra, no health bar.
Meanwhile,
Janka
Salamander
in the death chamber. Salamander is trying. He's trying so hard, but he just can't. He can't take the turrets in the face of the Maokai. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, he's like,
Especially
guys,
a Mountain Soul Maokai.
Oh yeah, this Maokai, I mean, look at his items. They're just... See, now he has the resistances, and this Unending Despair is going to be doing work, right? He's not going to be taking much damage. But Watercat could be in trouble here, has the flash, but maybe...
No mana to speak of.
Oh, the minion
Wig's
block.
trying. Just enough mana for the dissonant zap connects. Mike gonna be able to. Oh, the flash comes out to dodge right from the Xin Zhao W, but Mike also had the flash. Oh, the sidestep on the death rocket, but the Xin Zhao surely is gonna get the E back up off cooldown here. The knockup comes through. The shutdown goes over to the Jinx, but Mike may have to pay for this one. The Baya is gonna charge forward onto Squigs. The cease and desist committed there as well, and I don't think Jinx is gonna win this one with Vi right on. There's that arcane matchup. That's how season. Well, no spoilers, I guess, but Mike is going to get taken down here as well. Salamander in the bot lane. Is he going to get the turret? He can't quite get the turret.
Oh, man. Oh, no. My Jinx was 5-1 at some point.
She was. She sure was.
Yeah, very
Very
unfortunate. This Corki is 3 items. This Orianna is 3 items. This Maokai is soon to be 3 items. They just... they have the easier champions to play, right? Just point and click, press the buttons, and the enemies die. And it's...
No, I feel like the Pancake engages have been very, very crispy. I mean, credit to them. They've been, down the stretch. In the early game, it was definitely the Outlaws who were winning out in the team fights. But the Pancakes, they stayed calm, they stayed cool, they stayed collected. They carried on. And here they are in an incredibly dominant position. We've got a flanking Fiora situation right now.
Yeah, trying to just stop the wave so that they can't use the Baron.
Oh, that dredge line was very, very close.
Orianna has no ults now. Shotgun is just used.
No, Maokai is not with the team. This is actually quite dangerous, as Mike is going to go forward with the Audacious Charge, and the Xin Zhao just immediately dies. Immediately gets popped. The depth charge is going to come out now onto the Jinx. The dredge line doesn't land, but it is not going to matter. And now the Maokai has arrived, and that is going to be the end for the Outlaws. This one looking like it might end even a little bit faster, Emrys, than the previous game. Although Fiora did succeed in taking the minion wave. Yes, go bot. Yes, that's absolutely would be the right call for the side of the Pancakes. And Chaser's on top of that one. Corki is down there now. Start taking some turrets in the bot lane. But Salamander, man, is actually just trying so hard. He's almost going to get a Nexus turret here. The Demolish the cannon lives long enough to get Salamander the Nexus turret. The dredge line is unfortunately going to miss again for Haya. The riposte coming out a little bit early this time. And now Salamander's in trouble, but it's only Maokai and Nautilus. They don't have the damage to take down the level 16 Fiora. The Grand Challenge gets issued now by Salamander. The dash over the wall. And Fiora is going to live. Gets a Nexus turret and gets out.
Wait,
man,
the game
Salamander
continues.
Still might 1v9 this game. This is actually insane.
The game continues. I mean, Salamander, as I told you, I wanted to see Salamander put on a show. He's doing absolutely that. The Elder Dragon is up, and he has TP for this, so I mean, I think a team fight is absolutely lost for Prometheus, but
Yeah.
Salamander, just run to the bot. Just tell your team, I'm
I
gonna
guess
end the
they
game.
have to
Stop the back.
contest.
Yeah, no,
They
Salamander,
have
go
to contest.
go end.
Okay, the
Uh-oh.
shockwave onto Mike and Squigs, the depth charge, and the season. Everything just gets piled on top of the Jinx, and she is gonna end up going down. There goes Salamander, the strongest member of the Outlaws, gets taken down. Syndra on the run, flashes over the wall into the blue buff pit. Haya, the max range hook, connects onto Mike. Did we actually want that hook? Sofa goes in with the twisted advance. Mike, the disengage. And the side of the Outlaws will back away. The Elder Dragon will go over, and that should transition into the Baron as well. Surely that will be enough to get Pancakes over the finish line.
No, Prometheus, Salamander. He should have just ran bot lane. He could have ended the game. His team could have just stopped the backs.
Maybe.
I mean, I don't know if he could have
could've
ended the
been
game, but like that bot tower is really low.
I
He has
think
a
Elder
range.
just dies a little bit too fast. I don't know. I think I would have liked that call better as well, Emrys, but we'll never know now.
No, that's when you tell your team to Shinzo Sasageo just go and die to stop the back, and then he'll end the game. No, unfortunate that he goes in, he tries to get again. He gets onto Watercat, gets the stun onto Watercat, but I mean that Seraph shield was just so big he couldn't end up finishing him off.
Yeah. The Orianna now extremely close to death cap, just a few hundred gold away from a very cool hat for Watercat.
Yeah, I mean Rabadon's he's my favorite homie, and he makes the best kind of hats. Look at the gold difference here in the bot mid. I mean, this is a story we saw last game too, where it's just absolute gold leads in this mid and bot, and we see it in the top side here for Prometheus.
This Maokai does have an Elder buff, but it still seems like he's not going to win against the Fiora. It's probably going to be pretty close. Oh, here comes a teleport. Yeah, maybe he does win, actually, as the Thornmail is done now, even. So, Salamander going to be forced to retreat from the incoming Orianna.
and we see the pings from Fiora pinging the Orianna TP.
Yeah.
Let everyone know. Starting a Baron
And now
here.
everybody is moving up towards this top side. Salamander, no teleport, still in the bottom lane. Mike just over the wall here. And Esme is there as well to try to get some vision for the Jin Shao. Maybe a miracle steal with Fiora split pushing. Maybe the shockwave, the beautiful turn off the Baron for the Pancakes. Really, really intelligent call there. They're not going to risk the 50-50. No Baron buff for the split pushing Fiora. And that probably should be enough. I mean, Mike's dead now, so they're just going to secure the Baron first. Then they're going to look to push afterwards. Exodia will have been assembled.
Wait a second, we have a Jinx ult. Show me. Show me, Squigs.
Okay,
Show me.
It's just got fired off now.
Oh, shoot. Ow! It just hit me. Ouch. I just got
oh,
sniped.
damn. Hey, you probably took a lot of damage from that. It's a pretty
Squigs,
long-range
man.
ult.
Come on.
Oh, man.
I was
you're
rooting
alright.
for you, and you just do that to me. Ouch.
I guess you must not have had flash either, huh?
No, I had no flash and no barrier. I
Oh,
just
jeez.
ate it completely.
That's rough, man. Well, if it's any consolation, it looks like Squigs is going to lose this game. So, that's something for you, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's what he gets for hitting me.
Right.
Yeah, I mean level 18 Corky, level 7. Look at the levels on the side of Pancakes. They're just so far ahead, and they have this Baron buff. They only have 3 members here right now. Vi is, doing a little bit of farming.
Yeah,
and
gotta
making
take
away.
those Raptors. Very important. As a scatter is going to land onto Haya, and the Nautilus is not going to take any damage.
Yeah, and they're just waiting for the waves to sync up and push in, and it looks like they're just gonna play in
The
2 lanes. But look at
going for
Fiora.
the same play. Yep,
Doing it
Salamander
again.
looking for the minion wave once again, but there is a cannon wave here already for the Pancakes. Now Haya moving forward menacingly. The inhibitor turret will
Menacingly.
fall. The inhibitor afterwards. And the minion wave already there in the bot lane as well, so there's going to be 2 inhibitors down. The Fiora, does the Fiora have any minions? Probably not,
No.
right? I would have to imagine no. So taking that last Nexus turret, I think, unfortunately, is not on the cards, as the Lulu is going to explode. And now this Syndra is a little bit overextended, gets CC'd, gets taken down. Mike trying to get back on towards the fountain. The Crescent Guard is going to fall off, and the Jin Shao will fall immediately afterwards. Squigs The last surviving member, besides Salamander, that is, as the Fiora returns to the fight, but everybody else on the Outlaws is already in the dirt. A triple kill for Chaser to close this one out, and it will be the 2-0 for the Choco Pancakes.
Wowza, 13, 1, and 7 on the Corki. Very, very well done here from Chaser. I mean, it was a tough game for them at the beginning. I really thought,
Yeah.
they
Yeah.
when they started losing those fights in the top jungle, I was really, really worried for them because Jinx Lulu is such a really strong combo where the Jinx can just take over these fights. And
Yeah.
it just ended up not being enough. I mean, again, this Maokai, maybe in a best of 5, if these teams played, I think they're definitely banning it in game 3 because it just seems like even though it can lose lane, it's so good at mitigating the Fiora or the Renekton from actually taking too much of the map. Obviously the Fiora this time was able to get a lot more, but then also just the team fighting power is just so strong, right? He just provides so much frontline, and he provides so much peel with his ult and his W. It's also just really annoying to gank, so you can't even like kind of press your lead to just make him chain die, right? Three deaths here, the second least on his teams. If you look at them, they actually have third least. They go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's very nice in the death column.
Oh, true. Wow. Yeah, Sofa, no doubt about it, did a great job of neutralizing up there in the top lane. Had a couple of silly deaths, but, it didn't really end up mattering at all. The Maokai ended up getting incredibly tanky and did a great job in the team fights as well. Definitely good looks there. And man, so tragic for the Outlaws because they had such a great position in this game, man. Remember, they got all 6 grubs. Their Jinx was 5-0 at one point, had like 2 items before 20 minutes, I'm pretty sure. But it all just came down to those dragon fights. It was the Pancakes that won out in the dragon fights. They got the Mountain Soul, and they were able to deal with Salamander in the side lane, and that was it. The Outlaws didn't have any recourse at that point. So, well played by the Pancakes. Outlaws definitely gonna want a couple of those plays back in the mid game. They got some reviewing to do, I think, for sure.
Yeah, and one important thing I want to note is I'm looking here in the Twitch chat and I see 1,000 channel points go to Janka Mid.
Oh.
Did you
Wait, but
vote against your own team, Janka?
Oh, that's a bit sus. Oh dear. Oh, we're gonna have to do some investigations there, I think.
Yeah,
I'm gonna get back to you guys. Some controversy brewing here potentially. As yeah, good call out there, Emrys.
Okay, Janka.
One. Oh, do we have an update already? I'm taking a quick look here.
Yeah, it looks like Syndicate Reds 2-0'd OSG Arctic. So, I mean, I think that it's expected. Syndicate looks like a very, very strong team, especially from their win last week. They also had a 2-0 against Tilt Esports. And no Phoenix 2-0's Bloom.
Interesting. Yeah, so with that win, the Syndicate Reds are the only remaining undefeated team still here in Sector 2. So they are clearly out in front. But the Choco Pancakes, 2-1 now, right behind them. Right on their heels, just 1 win behind Syndicate. So that'll be fun to track, see if the Pancakes... I assume that matchup is probably still coming up, Syndicate versus Elysium. Not sure when that is, but that it did already happen. That was apparently the one loss for the Pancakes was in week 1 to Syndicate. Okay, so... And it's just a single round robin, I assume, right? They're not going to have an opportunity to face off again before playoffs. So it seems like Syndicate are looking very, very solid at the top of those standings here in Sector 2. Definitely good looks for them. I guess probably yet to lose. Was a 2-0 last week as well? They dropped a single game yet?
Let's see. Syndicate. Yeah, Syndicate won 2-1 to Elysium. So Elysium put up a good fight.
Okay.
No Goon Squad 2-0 against Tilt Esports. Very nice, very nicely done. Good comeback after they had just they'd lost yesterday against the Chocolate Pancakes.
Yeah, that's a big win for the Goon Squad, a much needed win, I think. So definitely good for them.
Yeah, up and we're gonna see no Phoenix versus Syndicate Reds, both 3-0 teams facing off next week in week 4.
Oh,
Both teams undefeated. This will be a really good game. You know, you can never know
Ooh.
which group is the stronger group until they actually play each other. You can look at them and say, oh, well, this seems really good. They got to be better than the other. You really don't know until they play each other. So we're going to see the best of the best play each other next week, and it'll be really, really fun to see that one.
Is that Resilience team, New Origin Phoenix? Is that? I don't quite recall. He's in the Crusader League, right? Oh, he's on Clown Gaming. Okay, never mind. Never mind.
Okay, that makes sense. That makes sense. There's a few people in my org NLE, and their name is Resilience, and then a number, and then Hater. So he's got
Oh,
a few of
different
those. Or
Resilient.
I think he beat them in the
Oh.
LXC, and that's why I know Resilient has won before.
Okay. Interesting. Well, very cool there to get some updates from around the league. Very, very nice. Looks like the only match that still needs to finish. So I guess all of we're getting a lot of 2-0s this week in Crusader. The only match it looks like that is still not concluded is Clown Gaming versus the Poison Panthers. Oh, and also OSG Snow Reapers versus New Origin Interbots. So a couple of results still pending here. But I guess we're pretty much done over here on the stream. Emrys, do you have any final thoughts, any closing remarks?
You know, I do. You asked me for a player of the match last game.
Oh, yes, let's do that, yes.
I'm gonna go
Oh.
again. This time, for me, it's Haya. I think Haya on this Nautilus played game 2 so well, just making plays for their team, and really allowed them to kind of just slowly claw back in the game, just pick after pick, pick after pick. And I thought they did a great job, you know, ulting the right targets. I know, like, it's point and click, but you know who you choose is actually very important. And you know, you have a Jinx, you have a Syndra to choose from, and he chose right in all the fights. And you know, I thought the Nautilus was very, very, very impactful for their team.
100%. Yeah, he had already warmed up on the Nautilus, right, in game number 1. Had that great play in the early game. I think that was the first blood where Haya roamed into the mid lane, had the flash auto onto Janka. So I had that first play to get them their first kill, and then it was the Nautilus who started out that fight around the third dragon as well. It was the dredge line connecting onto Esmia that set that play up for the Pancakes as well. So pretty based vote, I think, giving it to support this time. Makes a lot of sense to me. Yeah, so I'm glad you remembered to do that, Emrys. I almost forgot. That was very unlike me, but appreciate you. Good looks, good looks. Anything else you wanted to cover? Anything else I'm forgetting?
Yeah, it actually seems if we look into the support thing, apparently it's Vish's birthday today. How crazy is that? I feel like we could even like maybe like sing on stream, you
Oh
know,
God.
for Vish.
Well. Oh, is
It's
this a false
April.
alarm?
So
We've
we've been
fed some
capped.
faulty info. Oh man.
We've been capped to.
Oh man.
No.
They really got you good, Emrys. I'm sorry
No,
about
they
that.
did. You know, I'm too gullible. I just
I
see the
guess
good in
so.
people, wanted to believe them, and they betrayed me. How dare they?
Tragic, tragic. That's betrayal worthy of Arcane. Maybe that's gonna be in the next show.
Ooh, that is a fun hero augment in TFT. I do like it. It is Mbessa and Maddie. Actually, that one kind of sucks because Maddie is
Oh,
not a good
interesting.
unit, but
Yeah, huh.
Mbessa is. So
That's true. Yeah, yeah. Could see that working out. At least it'd be fun to play for lore reasons. Get that out there. We were just talking about TFT earlier during the break as well, so I'm glad we got a quick TFT mention in also. But I do think that is going to conclude our coverage for the Crusader League here in week number 3. From myself here, from Emrys, from everybody at the LXC, thank you very, very much for watching. Be sure to tune in tomorrow night, same time, same place, for our week 3 coverage of the Warden League. That is it from us here. Thank you again. Have a great night.
peace.